You ever felt like something was watching you, long before you were born? Imagine if the thing waiting was eternal, not dead, but bound, due to a deal that you did not approve of, a deal tied to your bloodline, specifically. Kenzie scratches the back of her neck, slow at first, then wince as her nail hits something raw beneath the fabric. Her sleeve shifts slightly, but the wound stays hidden. Noticing this, Deputy Harlan asks,
"You alright?"
She glances up, startled, as if she had forgotten he was there. Her eyes are glassy, but steady.
Yeah, I'm alright.
She gives a slow nod, then lifts her cigarette to trembling lips.
Alright. Well, just start from the beginning. Take your time. No rush.
We were told not to open the second door. Marley, Aunt Sarah, and me. We were warned about the door and that leads to Mee-Maw's root cellar. But Sarah, she didn't believe in all that Appalachian hill talk. Neither did I, really. Not until that night. Our first night sleeping in that house.
Kenzie, her adoptive sister Marley, and Aunt Sarah explored the house upon arrival. Moonlight filtered through gauzy curtains, casting pale streaks across the dusty floorboards. A faded photograph of Mee-Maw sits crooked on the mantel, and the air smelled of mold and damp wood. As they neared the kitchen, Kenzie paused, eyes narrowing toward the cellar door at the end of the hallway. A metallic click echoed faintly. It was Sarah, emerging from the dark stairwell below, brushing her jeans off and trying to act casual.
Sarah, were you just in the cellar below the stairwell?
We were told not to go down there, Sarah.
Yeah, Pastor Whitlow even told us. He said the house has history. Said we should treat the root cellar like a grave, remember? Leave it alone, sealed, and shut.
Not taking them seriously, Sarah scoffed and waved them off with a light smile.
Please. There's nothing down there but rotted furniture, broken jars, and dust thick enough to choke a raccoon. I'm clearing it out next week. Gonna redo the whole thing. Maybe even add a wine rack.
Hours later, they gathered in the living room and sat bundled near the fireplace, wrapped in thick blankets, hands clutching warm mugs of hot cocoa. Sarah glanced down the hall, noticing something.
The latches hanging loose. Did one of you...
That's not funny, Sarah. This place already feels haunted.
paused for a moment, glancing toward the floor. But after a brief silence, they brushed it off as the house settled in, welcoming and adjusting to the new owners.
Kenzie, wake up.
Panicked, Marley quietly shook Kenzie's shoulder, trying to wake her.
Marley, what is it?
I heard something outside, in the hall.
They both looked toward the hallway. A shadow slowly crept toward the door. It laughed, wretched, wet, and broken.
The fuck is that sound? Is somebody trying to get in our room?
A distorted voice hums and mutters, rhythmic like a riddle made of rock and decay.
Girls, you in there? Mee-Maw's waiting. Come on out now. I made cocoa just like you like it. Come and sit with me a while. She don't bite much.
The voice was wet, broken, drenched in saliva and choking. As Kenzie quietly got out of bed and crept toward the door, Marley began to whimper and attempted to follow her, but Kenzie motioned for her to stay put.
Open up, girls. Come on, let Mee-Maw see them pretty faces. You know she hates waiting. You know she hates being alone. Come on, open up now. I said open up.
A violent, gut-punching bang slammed against the door, the kind that rattles the frame and steals the breath from the room. The loud bang on the door causes Kenzie to quietly back away. She climbs back into bed, still facing the door, her face pale and her eyes wide with fear.
We climbed out the window and ran through the woods until Sheriff Maddox and some of the other deputies found us at dawn, barefoot and exhausted. He blew that damn horn of his. Some old whistle from back when men still false shadows with salt, I reckon. He later told us that it's an ancient tool used to ward off or briefly incapacitate things unnatural. After that, the other deputies and Sheriff Maddox brought us back to the station.
As Kenzie lights her cigarette, she scratches her arm, then her neck again. The motion is irritated now, more aggressive. She doesn't notice the smear of blood on her thumb as she exhales. Harlan glances toward her, opens his mouth to say something, then decides against it.
We hadn't seen Sarah at all that night. Thought she made it out too. But the deputies and medics, they only found Marley and me. No trace of Aunt Sarah. Not even at the house. We asked how they even knew where to find us. They said they didn't. Said it was us who found them. Can you believe that? Anyway, after coming here and being given a moment to regain our sanity, Marley wanted to leave. She begged me. But I just needed to understand what we had seen, what we had experienced. Me and my stupid fucking curiosity just needed to know. I needed to make sense of it all. So, I in turn begged her to stay. Just a couple more days, I said. I told her we'd leave after that. No arguments for me, I swear. That's what I said.
Her hands tremble as she downs the rest of her whiskey.
We found her body 5 miles from the station the morning after, on the side of the road. Lifeless. Drained of all of her blood. Her eyes, her teeth, all gone. None of it made sense.
Deputy Harlan stiffens, eyes wide.
My God. Kinsey.
The thing is, there were no wounds on her. Not even a fucking bruise. No marks. Not a scratch on her. When they brought the coroner in, her autopsy came back labeled as Silas. Fucking Silas. A sudden, unexplained death syndrome. Like they're supposed to explain the goddamn thing.
She lights another cigarette. The smoke coils around her face, but it doesn't hide the guilt carved deep into her eyes. Not a word, just the weight of it, sitting on her chest like something alive and heavy. Harlan pauses, his gaze steady, kind, not pitying, but human. Then, without a word, he slowly stood from his chair, gave her one last look, soft, steady, and said,
I'll give you a minute. If you need anything, just holler. I'm right down the hall.
Harlan steps out. The hallway was dim and quiet. Each footstep echoed faintly off the linoleum tiles as he made his way towards Sheriff Maddox's office. As Deputy Harlan steps in, Sheriff Maddox doesn't look up, just flicks ash into a cracked tray and nudges a manila folder toward Harlan.
I'm guessing you want to know why I didn't kill her, don't you? I see no other reason for you storming in here as quietly as you did. Questions? You got them, right? Just open that there folder, and we'll start from there.
The silence that followed is heavier than thunder. Harlan blinks, confused. He opens the file. A birth certificate. Mother's name, Inez Ray. But beneath it, written faintly in faded black ink, Mee-Maw Ray.
Inez Ray. Mee-Maw Ray. Her grandmother? Sir, I don't understand.
Her mother, Harlan. Kenzie was born from her. By blood. But raised by another. Paperwork was changed, and names were buried. These are the kind of secrets families bury so deep that everyone involved nearly forgets.
Sheriff Maddox speaks as someone who has rehearsed this truth in silence for decades.
So you're saying it let her live because of who she's related to? Because she belongs to it now?
That thing did not let her go. It marked her. It's been waiting. And now, it's ready to move on. Mee-Maw's time is almost up. And Kenzie's the next in line to inherit.
Inherit? Inherit what?
There's hesitation in his voice now. Less defiance. More dread.
Listen, it doesn't hunt. It inhabits. And when the last one's chosen time is up, it moves on to its next target. Or, in this case, its next host. And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it.
So Kenzie's a target.
She's a vessel. The next body it plans to wear.
Like a father afraid to know the answer, he asks,
How long before that happens, sir? How long before it inhabits her?
The words came out thinner than he meant for them to. Like a father with no hope, and yet still searching for answers, for a solution.
That depends. That thing will bide its time. Whisper, nudge, twist her thoughts until she thinks they're her own. And one day, she'll wake up. Only, she won't be the one waking up at all.
Why the women? Why not the men?
Because it's part of the cycle for that family. Part of the cycle for that curse. Part of the deal made ages ago. The women carry the blood that binds it to our town, and to that house.
Harlan stares at him. The pieces finally snapping together, one horror at a time.
Can it be removed or cured somehow? Is there a way to get rid of it?
He hesitates to ask, like he's afraid of the answer, but even more afraid not to ask.
Harlan, think of it like this. Have you ever tried to remove a brand burned into someone's flesh. The curse is similar to that, only worse.
There's a flicker of something behind Maddox's eyes now. Shame, maybe. Or resignation. Maddox then sets an old hand-carved horn onto the table. The surface of the object is etched with strange, weather-worn symbols.
The women in that family, they sacrificed themselves to keep that thing tied to this town and away from the outside world. And this here horn has been around for generations. It don't kill the thing, but it can drive it back, long enough to save you if needed.
So this is what Kenzie was talking about. You used this the night you found them.
Correction. They found us. We weren't out there looking for him or anything. Hell, we didn't even know what was going on until the deputy I had with me during night patrol heard screaming and saw the girls running our way. That's when I took charge, told him to call for the nearest backup while I go and see what was going on. When I spotted what was after him, I blew that horn as loud as I could, and for a moment, it backed off. I was sure as hell glad I had that thing on me when I did. This horn is just one of many things from our world, made to keep that world, or creatures from it, at bay.
Deputy Harlan stares at Maddox with even more questions now.
Sir, how the hell do you know so much about this?
Because I'm from that same bloodline, Harlan. Mae was my mother's sister. The name got changed when my father married out and tried to sever ties. But I've watched this curse circle back for decades. Watched it wear my mother thin, then take my sister, then Mae. And now that Kenzie's back, it wants her.
After a brief pause, Sheriff Maddox glances at his door, making sure that it's shut completely and void of prying eyes and eavesdropping.
Now between you and I, this stays off the books and off record, and only stays between you and I.
Yes, sir. But Mae, how'd she keep it at bay for so long? All those years. How's that possible?
I don't know, son. Mee-Maw. Well, you know her as Mae. Aunt Mae had strong will. The strongest will I've seen in her bloodline. Only time she left the cellar was to feed it. Once it fed, it'd sleep. That cellar helps, binds it, or imprison it somehow. It's like the ground itself holds it back. But even then, it corrupts the mind of its host and leaks out from time to time. Thing turned out to be stronger and smarter than she expected. Last time I saw her, she was sitting still at the top of the cellar steps, eyelids wide, eyes gone, and smiling. Smiling a grin so evil and so sinister, your skin would turn pale at the sight of it. Even if she didn't have teeth.
He looks off, distant, staring into space, shaking his head like the memory physically hurts.
Her body. Jesus. Hollowed with holes, and every inch of her covered in scratches, like she'd been clawed by a bear, or something worse. And despite that, she just sat there, scratching profusely at open wounds, non-stop, bleeding, smiling, and laughing as if she took pure joy in destroying her physical form.
After a long pause, Harlan shifts in his seat. His fingers tap nervously on his thigh.
For the women within our bloodline, if it chooses you, it takes you. And when he's done and ready to move on, it moves on. Directly to his next chosen female inhabitant. That's the deal.
They both look out of the office window, through the blinds, and stare at Kinsey.
The curse. It only affects the women it chooses within our family. Always has. Always will.
Back in the interview room, Kinsey, unknowingly left holding the curse, remains seated at the table, alone and angry.
I swear to God, whatever that was, I'm gonna find that fucking thing. And when I do, I'll put it back where it belongs. For good. For Aunt Sarah. For Marley. I'm gonna bury that fucking thing.
She leans forward, trembling, running her hand through her hair as her hoodie collar shifts. A flash of deep red, torn skin shows at the nape of her neck. Raw, bleeding, completely unaware of what's already taking place.
Come on down to the cellar, sugar. Oh, Mee-Maw's away. I don't buy it. Mud.
Some doors aren't meant to be open. Some truths were buried for a reason. The past doesn't stay dead in places like Red Hill. It waits. And when it calls you home, you best pray it forgets your name. Sometimes, what we inherit isn't land, or money, or even love. Sometimes it's something older and hungrier. Something that knows your name. Some people inherit houses. Some inherit debt. But in Red Hill, what you inherits you. Imagine that.